Hey folks, hey, this is Wesley $1 billion Virgin here. Hey, welcome to another Sunday Mindset Message when your favorite multimillionaire Mr. Virgin here goes live via Houston, Texas from Instagram, laying in my bed talking to you right now, just enjoying this outstanding blessed day to share this message with you. So folks, great morning. How are you? Comment below. And I have something powerful for you that's going to set you up for the week to put you in position, okay? I want everybody to comment the word position, okay? Go ahead and type those words below, position. What I want to do for you this morning, real briefly, is to position you for success, okay? To position you for abundance, to position you for wealth, to position you to get whatever you want, okay? And what I'm going to share with you here this morning is not going to cost you $1. It's not going to cost you a dime, but it will cost you a little bit of time. And if you're thinking why you should listen to a man like me, well, listen. I'm a young black man from Houston, Texas. I grew up on the south side of Houston, Texas, fairly poor average. My parents were pastors of a church. They didn't make more than $20,000 a year, but they did their best. But we were average, we were poor. But over the years and decades, I made a decision that I was going to position myself for wealth and to position myself to be a multimillionaire, the first generational millionaire in my family here. And I made that decision at the age of 21. And let me tell you something. Let me be very brutally honest with you. It's probably one of the most difficult things I've ever done in my life. It was hard. And listen, the tough part wasn't how to become a millionaire, how to become financially successful, how to have more money than I can ever spend. That wasn't the difficult part. That wasn't the hard part. Learning how to run an internet company, learning how to program websites, learning the psychology of marketing, information on the internet. No. However, the difficult part was believing that I could do it. Okay? That was the tough part. It was just believing that a young, broke, average kid, black kid from the bottoms of Houston, Texas, can make millions of dollars here. And it's a part of you. Everybody that's on this mindset message here this morning, it's a part of you. It's a part of you that is still poor. It's a part of you that still is average. It's a part of you that is still looking for the easy way out. It's the part of you that is still mediocre, average. Okay? And that's the fight. The fight is not learning or understanding how to do it. It's just realizing there's a part of you that you have to put to rest. It's a part of you that you're going to have to funeralize. There's a part of you that you're going to have to put so deep in that ground, never to see that old you again. Does that make sense? Can I get an amen, please? Okay. And that's what these mindset messages are. This is why I create them. I cater them to you, and I cater them to that part of you that is trying to birth. The part of you that's trying to birth is the successful part of you, the positive part of you, the excited, the enthusiastic, the optimistic part of you, the part of you that is willing to be patient and to be diligent and to work and to persevere and to persist and to fight and to have a sense of fortitude that whatever you are faced with, you will defeat and you will conquer. I'm speaking to that part of you right now. Does that make sense? Can I have an amen, please? I'm speaking to the new you. Does that make sense, ladies and gentlemen? Okay. So I want you to understand that when I go live here, if you decide to subscribe to my podcast, which is Millionaire Midnight Rant Podcast, Wesley Virgin on the internet. I'm on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We are the number one listened to podcast in the self-help space because this is needed and it's necessary here. So get ready. Take notes here. I'm not going to be long, but I promise you, you're going to hear something that you're going to be able to apply immediately in your life to start to see changes. Come at the word, I want to see changes, Wes. Because if you're not here to see changes, then you're in the wrong place. Comment below right now, I want to see changes. To see changes, you must acquire knowledge. And with the acquisition of knowledge, you must then go and apply that knowledge to see if it will equal the results that you're looking for, okay? So I want to see changes, Wes, period. So I want you to write this down. Listen, I would like you to write this down. And I'm going to suggest that what I'm about to say is what you're battling with, okay? And I want you to be honest with me and honest with yourself. I think one of the toughest parts for me are when people ask me, what was the hardest part for you when you made that transition and that breakthrough? My breakthrough personally, which I had several, it was just not lying to myself, okay? Like being very honest with myself. And that's very difficult. We have the proclivity to lie to ourselves and say that we're doing more than what we're actually doing. We're always trying to convince ourselves that we're on a level, but we know we're not, and we know that our actions are not aligned with the level that we want to be. Some of you make $10,000 a year. Some of you make $50,000 a year, $30,000 a year. Some of you make $40,000 a month, $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month. What I want you to understand is, based on your thinking and your actions, equates to the income that you're bringing in your household, that you're bringing into your life. Does that make sense, ladies and gentlemen? Okay? But I want you to write this down. And I'm going to suggest, like I said before, this is your issue. This is a lot of your issues, right? And I know you got a lot of issues. You say, Wes, I got a lot of issues. I know you do. But I'm here to fix you. I'm the mechanic, okay? They called me, and I'm coming in 24-hour urgency service. I'm here, Wesley Virgin. I got the hammer, I got the screws, and the nails. So I'm going to fix you, okay? Come at the word, fix me, Wes. Listen, and I want you to write this down. You are more afraid of failing than you are excited to succeed. Let me say that one more time. Listen, open your ears, okay? Stop for a second. Open your ears. You are more afraid of failing than you are excited to succeed. Last night I was driving my Lamborghini. I bought a brand new STO. It's about $500,000. It's fun. It's a fun car. And this young lady at the gas station, I was pumping some gas. Me and my girl was going to get a bite to eat in the Heights area here in Houston, Texas. And I'm just pumping gas. And one thing about the Lamborghini STO, the Huracan, it's very difficult to get out of that vehicle. I'm 6'1", so it's a struggle for me getting out of that vehicle. So I saw a young lady. She was recording, and it was a young black lady, and she says, you mind if I, take a picture? I said, absolutely. Go ahead, do your thing, boo. I'm always nice. It's all good. I like when people ask me for pictures of the car, right? Not of me, the car, because it's inspired. It's inspirational for them as well. And we got into a conversation because sometimes when people approach me or even approach a man that has a $500,000 vehicle like I do, They get intimidated. So I make people, relax. Say, hey, what's going on? So what's your name? She told me her name. And I said, okay, so where you from? She said, oh, I'm from Washington, D.C. Where you from? I said, I'm from Houston, Texas here. He said, man, your car is so nice. And, where did you get it from? And, God, what do you do? So I told her what I did. I'm a digital marketer. I'm the best digital marketer on the planet right now. Do very well. And she said, oh, man, wow. And then she said, can you give me some advice? And I said, well, what do you do? She said she's a paramedic. And she said, can you give me some advice? I want to get on your level. I want to be where you are. Young black man. She didn't say young black man, but I just said that. She said, I want to be where you are. I mean, it's like 9 o'clock at night. I'm at a gas station on Westheimer. She said, I want to be where you are. And I looked into her eyes and I could tell she was serious. And I said, young lady, look at me. The only reason why you are now where I am, or even your perception of where I am, is because you are more afraid of failing than you are excited to succeed. That's it. I mean, she was blown away. She was just paused. She paused. She was like, God. I mean, she paused. You should have seen her eyes. Almost, I don't know if I almost saw tears come from, but she was just shocked. I said, you are more afraid to fail than you are excited to succeed. She was a very positive person and very happy-go-lucky individual, young lady. And, she's a paramedic. She's doing well. But I said, the only reason why you're not at my level is you're more afraid to fail than you are excited to succeed. Because I knew she wanted to succeed. I mean, as soon as she saw me, she pulled out her iPhone. She started recording the car and taking pictures. And she did a video of me and everything. She said, sir, do you mind talking to my camera and just sharing some words? And those words shocked her. She almost dropped her phone. She said, well, what do you mean? I'm not well... She said, well, you're right. I am afraid to fail. And then I asked her, I said, well, what are you afraid of? Like, let's be very specific. A lot of you on here right now are afraid to fail. You don't even realize it. I got people on my team right now. They're afraid to fail. They are. They're so afraid to make a mistake. They're afraid to lose money. They're afraid to look stupid. They're afraid to say the wrong thing at the wrong time. They're afraid to look silly. They're just afraid of everything. And I said, well, I want you to think for a second, young lady. What are you really afraid of? And I want to talk to you too, all of you that's listening to my voice right now on this live. Like when you think about what you're afraid of and you're afraid to fail, what are you exactly? Give me the particulars of what you're really afraid of. She says, well, because when you say failure, because almost 99% of you are afraid to fail. Like if you don't have $1 million in your bank account and you want $1 million in your bank account, or $100,000 in your bank account, or a better job, a better career, a better whatever, a better man, a better woman, you're afraid of something. And most of you say, well, I'm afraid to fail. But I want you to go deeper than that. Fail at what? I told her that. I said, fail at what? Okay? And I said, well, so what if you fail? I said, listen, how long you been a paramedic? She said, 5 years. I said, okay, so you've been 5 years. So now there's an opportunity for you to learn the business. She said, yeah, you're right, but I need to learn the business. I said, get closer to the CEO that's in that company, work for him 2 to 3 more years, and start your own. Well, yeah, I guess you're right, but, I said, but, she said, but. I said, but what? Well, what if I don't do well? I said, okay, what if you don't do well? What if I invest money and I lose it? Okay, what if you lose it? What if I work my ass off every day for years and it don't work out. What if that does happen? What if I don't have enough time? Okay, what if you don't have enough time? What if I don't have enough resources? Okay, what if you don't have enough resources? What if I'm too old? Okay, if you're too old, then what? Every question that she gave me, I repeated it back to her. I said, what if the worst of the worst happens? My question is, what are you going to do now? And once you answer that question, young lady, you'll be successful. Okay? And that goes to all of you. You know, however you define success, of course. Like once you're able to answer all those questions of your failure, because you're not afraid to fucking fail, folks. You're not afraid to fail. There's something deeper in that. Because how many of you have ever played a video game and like lost? Anybody ever played Super Mario Brothers? Or am I old as dirt? Anybody ever played Pac-Man? Hello? Have you ever played Pac-Man, GTA, or NBA 2K, Minecraft, Roblox? How many of you have ever played those games and failed? You lost. It said game over. It said no more lives. It said start all over from scratch. My question to you, and I'm talking to you, what did you do? Like, what did you do? Be honest. When you saw that game over on that video game that you played when you were a child, teenager, young adult, when it said game over, what did you do? Did you turn it off and say, I ain't playing this shit on? I'm tired of this game. Keep whooping I'm tired of losing. Man, I hate that stupid game. It sucks. Yeah, some of you do that, though. Some of you used to throw the controller. You remember Nintendo? You throw the controller. I hate this game. Yeah, you're playing Duck Hunt. You get the board 99 and you miss that bird. And it says game over. You throw the controller. You rip it out of the socket. Who's been there? Can I get an amen? Am I the only one? Listen. You know what Whitney just said? Whitney says, that was good. Listen, Whitney says, what she did when she lost, she laughed and played again. Oh, my God. Whoa. You telling me when you remember Contra? Yeah, I don't remember those games, huh? You play these games and you get the board 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, 11, and 13, and 14. And then you lose. Laugh and play again. But let me tell you something about playing the game, which gets kind of gets crucial. Because the further you get in the game, like say if you get the board 20 versus losing at board 5, you get a little bit more agitated, right? You know, because if you get the board 5, you lose, okay. But if you get the board 55 and lose, you like, because if you get the board 55, you gotta restart. Because some games don't send you back to the same level. Some games send you back to square one. You gotta play everything over again. So you get a little agitated, right? Because some games will restart you at the same level, but some games will restart you back at level number 1. So imagine getting to board 50 and losing and going back to level 1. You pissed off, you agitated. Because you say, well, I've been playing it for so long. And I was so close. You see how your success is so evenly correlated to the games that you used to play? See, some people are very calm when they play video games. Even when they get to board 40, they're like, okay, it's all good. Let me start it over. Let me play it again. Just like the young lady said, she just laugh and play again. Say if you did that with every obstacle in your life. Just laugh and play it again. Yeah, you get married, you find somebody, you find out they ain't the one. Okay, you laugh and you play again, you get another person. You choose a career choice, you find out that it's not the career choice that you want, you laugh and play again. You go back to school, get another degree, or you choose another profession. You start a business, you work that business for 2 years, and you're like, man, this thing is not working. Laugh and play again. Try something new, or go deeper. Say if you just laughed and play it again. That's going to be the title of this message here tonight, this morning. Comment those words below, laugh and play again. See, that's how you have to think about your individual life. Listen, it's only a few things in life what we really want to do. And correct me if I'm wrong, okay? How many of you want to be in love one day or find the love of your life? Hit the like button and say, yes, Wes. I mean, be honest. I think everybody wants some type of love from a significant other. How many of you would like to have your health in order? I don't think anybody wants to be fat and unhealthy. I think they want to be fit, lean, nice looking, 6-pack, 8-pack abs, looking nice, right? So I think everybody on here wants to be extraordinary healthy. They want to be healthy, right? They want to feel good. They want to feel pure and strong and physically fit and look that way as well. Can I get an amen if that's you? And then, last but not least, everybody want to be rich. I don't think anybody that wants to be poor. I don't think anybody that prays to God on Sunday morning, God, please make sure I stay in this position right now. Make sure I stay in poverty. Make sure I have no money in my bank account. Make sure I'm still living from paycheck to paycheck. Lord, please make sure I stay in that job for the next 20 more years. I just love making $10, $20 an hour. Lord, please keep that lack of money in my... I don't think anybody's praying those prayers. Can I get an amen? So let me reiterate, all of you want to be rich, you want to be healthy, and you want to find the love of your life or want to be loved by somebody. I say that to say this. There are not many things that a person actually wants in life. I hear people say, oh, I want a lot of things. I want a lot of things. I want so many things. I want a lot of things. No, you don't. There's only a few things that you want because those three things, if you get them, you can get everything. You can find the love of your life, you physically fit and look healthy and amazing, and you have all the money that you want. There's nothing on this planet that you can't have. However, you got to get more. You got to be more excited to succeed. More excited to succeed. And less afraid of failure. Okay? Write this down. Failure is the gateway to your dream. Okay? Like just dealing with failure. However you interpret failure. Many of you have a misinterpretation of failure. You think failure means stop. No more. It's the end. I was having a conversation with my media buyer today, and he made a comment. He's always giving me a report, and this morning he says, well, Wesley, you know, I know some days we spend $10,000, we make $20,000. Some days we spend $20,000, we make $40,000, but it's never going to be consistent, Wes. It's never just going to be consistent. It's never. And I replied back to him immediately. I said, don't you ever fucking say that again. And that's how I talk to my people. I love them. I said, don't you ever say that again. Don't say never. You don't know what. Listen, you don't know what's possible. You don't know what's possible. Don't you ever say never. What you mean never? There's an opportunity for us to make 50, 100,000, 300,000 profit every day. The opportunity is always there when you're looking for it. But most of you, and him, when I was talking to him, he was stuck in the status quo. You know what the status quo is? We've always been that way. Well, that's the industry standards. That's what everybody does. What everybody said that when I was on this call, where they said this here. Every company I talked to, they said that. I said, we are trendsetters. Like my company, Virgin Media, we set trends. We make shit possible. The shit that you think they're we make that possible. That's what we do here at Virgin Media, LLC. Look us up. I had to remind him. I said, we trendsetters. We make the shit that people think that's impossible, and once it becomes possible, it becomes the new standard. So don't you ever say what we can't do, and don't you ever tell me the word never. I didn't hear that. I hear not yet. You haven't did it yet. You will do it. Look deeper into your data. Ask the hard questions. And that goes for you as well. Okay? That goes for all of you. You don't know what's possible. Like you can't say that, oh, this is just too hard. This will never work out. You know, I don't think this is the right thing for me. How do you know? What are you talking about? The Wright brothers, they created and formulated and put together and constructed the airplane. Like, who would have ever thought in 100, 200 years that we would ever fly in the air 30,000 feet above ground? Hundreds of people. Who would ever believe that? That they would serve food in the air, serve drinks in the air, drink alcohol in the air, flying from one side of the world to the, like, who would ever even imagine? Most of you won't even skydive. You won't bungee jump, but you are aboard a plane with 100 people. Sit down, recline, and watch TV for 10 hours until you get to your destination spot in Paris. 200 years ago, that was insane. No one would have even agreed to do that. Hell no, I'm not going in no air. What? Getting on what? Flying? Excuse me? I'm not a bird. Can you think about all the ridicule and criticism that the Wright brothers had to endure before they said, gotcha, I told you. What you gonna say now? Look at my plane. Look, we in the air. Now what? Think about all the people that talked about them and teased them and said, you are crazy, you're stupid, you're delusional, fly. If God wanted us to fly, God would have gave us wings. He gave bird wings, not human people. That's impossible. That's not going to happen. But it did. It did happen, right? Someone thought that we will always, when we were talking on the phone to another person, that we'll always have to talk on a phone that was connected to a wall. You remember those days? Some of you don't remember those days. You're too young. Yeah, so young folks, let me tell you what the old folks used to have to do. We have to have a phone, and we had to connect a wire to the wall. It was called an RJ11. It's a phone jack. You know what a phone jack is? You only know what a phone jack is. Yeah, some of y'all know what a phone jack is. Well, you have to take that phone jack plug and plug into the wall if you wanted to speak or talk to anybody, because they didn't have cell phones. What's a cell phone? When I grew up, they didn't have cell phones. When I was born, they didn't have cell phones. They had a phone that you had to plug into the wall. Okay? Then they got savvy. Then they created a phone that you connect to the wall, but you had what was called the headset, that you can take off the headsets and you can run around your house and talk to people. But listen, you couldn't go too far, because if you went too far from the base, as it relates to the headset, you'll lose the signal. How many of you can relate? Remember those days? But now, and listen, you know, there was a time we couldn't call long distance. Long distance didn't even exist. And when it did exist, it was expensive. Nobody was going to talk to nobody across the state line and countries and call people in the Philippines and Colombia and Paris and Italy and North Dakota. Why? Because it was too expensive. No one wanted to pay long distance charges. How many of you remember those collect calls? It cost money for that, folks. Nobody was calling state to state. It was too expensive. Hello? Nobody. It was normal. If mama or daddy caught you making a collect call, she would slap the crap out of you. Boy, what you doing calling those collect calls? We ain't made out of money. But somebody said, what if? Come at the word what if. What if is two of the most powerful words of creation that I believe God has ever created. What if we could take a phone and we can dial the number of our preference and call somebody in China and it doesn't cost us a dime? What if I could drive in my car and I can talk to my boo, talk to your man, talk to your best friend, to your mama while you're driving 70 miles per hour to your destination? What if on my phone, not only I can make calls, I can access the internet? Listen, back in the day, we didn't have no internet on the phone. What? Internet on the phone? That did not exist, ladies and gentlemen. Internet on the phone? That didn't exist. Phones were used to call people. Cell phones. The Blackberries. Remember those Blackberries? Those walkie-talkies? Yeah. Nah. There was no internet on that phone. You wasn't browsing the web. They didn't have text message. There was no SMS. But I want you to pay attention to how quickly we have evolved as a human race. How? Think about it for a second. How did we evolve so quickly? Human consciousness. Because somebody said, you know what? Nah. We ain't going to do it this way. We're going to do it another way. No. You know what? We're going to put internet on the phone. Oh, they say we can't do it? No, you can't do it. It's too much bandwidth. It's too much resources that you're going to put. You have to integrate. Got to implement too many different mechanisms to make it happen. It's going to be too expensive to try to put the internet on the phone. It's not going to look good. People can't browse. They don't be able to type properly. I mean, people are not going to be texting on a phone. Why would they do that? It's numbers on a phone. Who's going to text on a phone? No one's going to do that. No one would hit 1111 to hit A and 333 to hit C. You remember those days when we had to use the numbers to actually type the letters? Like, who's going to do that? But somebody say, well, what if we just put letters on the phone? What if we put letters on the phone? What if we upgrade the screens to the point that they can actually see the same image or the same browser as they do on their computer? What if? What if I, Wesley Virgin, spends $100,000 a day and make $1 million? What if? What if I do it every day? What if I help everybody on here right now that's listening to the message in the next 12 months make $1 million? What if? What if everything in your life changes tomorrow because you're changing the way that you think? What if? That's all I'm going to say. What if? What if your breakthrough is going to happen in the next 24 hours? Can I get an amen? What if it happens? What if something happens inside you right now that causes you to drastically make different decisions, that failure's no more an option, that you're only excited and focusing on success, prosperity, abundance, everything that you want? You begin to create this picture and this vision in your mind. You meditate on it. You pray on it. You believe it. You go to work and you work like you've never worked before, and you become a multimillionaire in 6 months and a year. What if? Hit the like and share button, folks, if you're getting value here this morning. I'm just warming up. What if? What if your body is healed from cancer? What if your body is healed from seizures? Because you expect it to. You just believe it will. You don't know how. You don't know what doctor you got to see. You don't know where you got to go, what medical hospital you need to visit, what specialist that you need to deal with. But you just say, what if? What if everything in my body right now cures itself? What if all this fat starts to fall off my body? What if I just start going to the gym? What if I start eating better, treating people better? What if I start complimenting people? What if I start tomorrow to put a smile on my face regardless of the chaos and the problems and the troubles and the iniquities that are taking place in my life? What if? What if? That's all I'm saying. It's what if. That's it. I'm going to keep it simple, okay? It's what if. I mean, I don't know. What if I make $1 million every single day of my life profit? What if I make $30 million a month? What if I get my beautiful $40 million jet paid cash by somebody? I don't know. What if I upgrade the furniture in the private jet? I got to spend another $10 million. What if? I don't know. But what if it happens? What if everybody on my team makes 6 to 7 figures per year in the next 12 months? What if? What if I take my team around the world, spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on the private jet every month, traveling to some new location, working on the plane? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine taking my team of 30 people, putting them on my private jet? The jet has over 10 to 15 rooms on the jet. We have a conference room. We got a juice bar on the jet. We have a living room on the jet. And we're talking shop, calling people on the jet, calling people, making deals, closing calls on the jet, on our way to Japan, on our way to Bali, on our way to France. What if? Okay. Like, what if it all happens? Many of you are stuck within the status quo because the status quo is where you live. And when I say where you live, it's the people that you have chosen to surround yourself around. You're like the people that say, well, it's always been that way. It's all, well, that's not possible. Well, that's not realistic. That's where you live. So there's no opportunities for you to envision something that may seem impossible. It's hard for you to envision something in your mind that may be a financial breakthrough in your life. Okay? Listen, the body, even your life cannot go where the mind can't see. Okay? Your life cannot go to the proverbial top until your mind goes there first. Does that make sense? Your body is not going to be in the penthouse in the beautiful mansion in the gated community with your children until your mind goes there first. Your body is not going to be in a brand new Ferrari, Rolls Royce until your mind goes there first as well. Okay, your body can't check a bank account and see millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars in it until the mind goes there first. Does that make sense? Your mind has to go first. It has to go to that realm, that fifth dimensional world, that quantum field, okay? Like your mind has to go to that quantum field first, that spiritual field where there are an unlimited, there are unlimited resources and unlimited options in this field, okay? Your mind has to go there first. Like your mind has to go there first. You have to visit the unknown. The unknown is where everything that you desire is. Can I get an amen, please? Many of you have it backwards. You're trying to build a house before you write out and construct the blueprint. You're trying to just build the house. You're out there with the hammers and nails. You're calling up the electrician. You're calling up the foundation people. All these folks are at a site, but no one has a blueprint. No one knows what they're doing. Everybody's lost. The carpenter is already there. The carpenter is at the site before the guy that does the foundation. Okay? The window guy is there, but there's no place to put the windows because the carpenter's not there yet. Because you haven't thought deeply enough about the blueprint. This is how you must first construct your life. It has to be constructed in the mind, which means you got to think about it. You got to write it down on a sheet of paper. That's how simple this is. But the only reason why you're not writing it on a sheet of paper because you don't trust the process. You say, well, Wesley, come on, man. I can't just write this stuff down and it's going to happen. And I'm like, well, what if it does happen? What if all of you today on Sunday fun day, right? That's what a lot of you like to call it. I call it Sunday work day. But say if Sunday, 50% of you decides to take out a sheet of paper and write down everything that you want as if you already have it. Like you spend 30 minutes writing exactly how you want your life to be. From your physical fitness, your spirituality, your finances, the way that you look, the people that you're around, the people that you date. What if you write that stuff down, your career choice, your niche, whatever, the business that you want? What if you write that down and it happens? I just said, what if? Like, what if everything that you write down today, say if right now you're in a tough spot financially. Many of you are, and I get it. But what if you say, you know what? Fuck it. Let me write down what I want. And let me write it down as if I already have it. Let me spend 20 minutes just writing down. I'm going to fill up a journal. I'm going to go to Walmart today. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to Walmart today, Walgreens, or what drugstore, Amazon.com, whatever. And I'm going to order me a binder. 100-page binder. And I'm going to go home, shut that door, turn off the lights, turn off the phone, and I'm going to buy me a nice blue pen as well. And I'm going to sit down, either on the floor or on my bed or on the couch. I'm going to get relaxed, give me a glass of water. And as I'm drinking that glass of water, I'm going to write down every goal, every dream on that sheet of paper. And I'm going to think about everything that I want. I'm going to think about every aspect of my life as humanly possible. And I'm going to spend 30 minutes. I'm going to have a time clock. And I'm going to set it for 30 minutes. And I'm just going to write. And I'm going to write for 30 minutes of exactly how I want my life to look, how I want my life to feel, what I want to hear, what I want to experience for the rest of my life. I'm going to write it down. And my question to you is this. What if you did that today and it actually happens? Like, what if you did that today and what if it actually happens? What if you say, I'm going to listen to this one more time because I know Wesley's going to post it on his podcast. So I'm going to listen to it one more time. One more time. And I'm going to write down everything that I want as if I already have it. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to lie to myself. It's okay. I'm going to lie to myself. I'm going to tell myself I have all these things. I'm going to tell myself I have a beautiful wife, a beautiful husband, I'm going to say every time I leave my house, loving, just love compliments just come to me. I'm going to tell myself that I'm fit, lean, and beautiful, and men stare at me, women stare at me. I'm going to write this down, that I'm riding in a beautiful Bentley to my job, to my business, to the gym every day, having my cappuccino at Starbucks with my girls, with my boy. Okay? Just want you to write it down. Because what if it happens? Like, what if it all happens just by writing it down today? And that's just a decision. You don't have to invest any money. You don't have to go get any loans. All you need to do is just write it down. It just, what if it happens? Just like it happened for the Wright brothers. It happened for Steve Jobs. He's the guy that put the iPhone on the map. He's the guy that said, you know what? We're not going to listen to music on the radio anymore. Radio. Record players. What's that? Nah. We're going to put music on the phone. How are you going to do that? You can't put music on the phone. Music was not made. I mean, iPhone or phone itself was not created to play music. It was created to talk to people. It's not a music box. That's why we have the Walkmans. Remember a Walkman? Some of you still got a Walkman. Some of you are like, what was a Walkman? Well, the Walkman is this device that you put in your pocket or you clip on your belt, and it's kind of big. You put a CD in there, hit the word play, but you got to be careful. You can't move too much, because if you move too much, if those little bars go down, then it's going to skip on you. Yeah, that's what a Walkman is. You know, Walkman is that tape player, or, yeah, you remember that? Or even the iPod. You know, we used to put, music on a little iPod. It was smaller. But then someone said, like Steve Jobs said, well, how about we put that on the phone? People like listening to music and they like talking on the phone. So how about we put it together? I'm sure I didn't know Steve Jobs, God rest his soul, but I'm sure he was like, man, what if? Like, what if we can just do that? You know, who wants to carry a phone and a Walkman and an iPod everywhere? That's too many devices. So how about we just integrate it and put it all together? Oh, man, that's impossible. How you going to do that, man? No, that's too much memory, too much storage. And you know what Steve Jobs said? I just believe he said this, and I believe he shouted it. He said, what if? Because one thing about Steve Jobs, if you do your research on that man was brutal. He wasn't the best person to be around. He was intense. And his intensity, because he was passionate. He would talk to developers and talk to the programmers. You can't do that, Steve Jobs. That's impossible. What if? He said, if you think it's impossible, get the fuck out. Get out of here. I don't care about the inside. I don't care. I don't pay you to tell me what's impossible. I pay you to tell me what is possible. That man used to fire people every day. Okay? Hey, folks, I love you so much. I do. The title of this morning's rant was, what if? Okay? It's what if. What if everything works out for you because you expect it to? That's it. Just expecting that it will. Expecting that the bill is going to get paid. Expecting that you're going to get a raise. Expecting you're going to get the new job. Expecting that you're going to start the new business. Just the expectation. Just what if it works out? I want you to be more excited to succeed than you are fearful to fail. Okay? Listen, my podcast, this will be uploaded. If I can get all of you to hit the like button, share this, and comment the word I got value, I will post this for you on the podcast to listen again. Why should you listen to this again? Well, one thing that I learned in my 20s, it took me a very long time, like 5 years to learn this, is that repetition is the mother of skill. That anything that I want to do, not just to know, anything that I wanted to act on, despite just having information about it, but actually do it and apply it, I had to listen to it again. So more I would listen to anything in life, I would begin to do what I was listening to. In the beginning, when you hear this message here, you might say, I know this. You may say, I'm going to do this. But many of you are not going to do what I just shared. But if you decide right now where you are to do it and listen again, just listen again. Just keep listening and watch how your mind begins to assimilate this information, and watch how your actions change and your beliefs change. People ask me all the time, how do I change my beliefs? Well, listen to this over and over again. Your beliefs have been inculcated through a repetition of something that you've heard, something that you've experienced over and over again, have translated into your beliefs. So if you want to believe something like this, listen to this again. Much love. I love all of you. This is Wesley, $1 Billion Virgin. Much love, and let's go.